extra minutes.
What is it about bats that fascinates you?
Well, they're just very amazing animals once you get to know them, and this is the trouble that most people, they see the dark, scary shapes at night and a lot of squabbling and fighting noises, and they don't see them like we do as the people who rescue them and care for them.
I certainly don't think of bats as warm and cuddly.
Nobody does. Bats are not as deadly as what people believe, and not every animal has the virus. There's been an awful lot of really bad media about flying foxes and diseases, and yet the disease risk is extremely low. We know that from the work that we do. We hardly ever see animals that are truly sick. We see injured animals. So our work, being one of the largest bat carer and rescue organisations in Australia, it's a lot about the cause of why they're coming into care, and just trying to get people to understand that we need to avoid these human-bat interactions.
What do you say to people who say it's people over bats, it's a matter of priority? What's the resolution to that?
Better management. I think we've been very poor managers of our flying fox colonies, allowing developments to encroach these natural areas where flying foxes have always been. We've been really bad at recognising these areas that flying foxes have traditionally been in for perhaps hundreds of years. And it's about leaving those areas and keeping them for the flying foxes so that they don't have to fragment and go split up into smaller groups into our suburbs. People see them in big colonies, but they don't realise that these animals are actually disappearing. If we lose our flying foxes, the diversity of our forests will actually deplete, and the pollen and the seeds that they create are tomorrow's forests. They're the future.
It's hard to mount an argument for the bat, though, when it carries such a deadly virus.
That's right, and that's why you don't touch and you leave it to the experts who know. We're trained to handle them.
Have you ever been scratched or bitten?
I was actually bitten by an infected animal.
So you've actually been bitten by a bat that had the Lyssa virus?
Mm-hmm. I'm here to tell it. The vaccine is a protective vaccine, and that's what people have to remember, that if they are bitten or scratched, they need to seek medical attention.
What did you make of the Queensland government's decision to lift the protection of bats?
That was really devastating. There's been a lot of people and a lot of organisations that have worked very hard to have the protection of flying foxes for the role that they play, the ecological benefits that they provide to our environment and our economy. So truly it was really devastating, because back in 2008 it was declared an act of cruelty to shoot a flying fox, and then to then allow orchardists to go back to that method of ineffective crop protection is a little bit backward in our minds.
But if they're flying over our houses at night and they're in our backyards, we don't know which one might have this killer disease.
That's right, but it just comes back to the fact that if you find a bat alone through the day, it's obviously, it needs help. So that's when you call the experts. We're vaccinated, trained to do the job, and we'll come and get that bat. And that's where we just don't want people touching them. If you don't touch bats, you have nothing to fear from them being close by or flying over the head, coming into your backyard at night.
Truth is, we've now got a rabies in Australia.
So do many other countries. And they deal with them a lot better than what we do.
We've been in denial about that, I think.
We have, yes. And we're very lucky, really, that it's in such a low percentage of animals, and that we have services like we are that go out there and protect people's health by rescuing these animals before people try to do it themselves, rescue animals themselves.
All right, any last